Hi, it's Stu, and this video is going to be my next week's TBR, a little information about the prompt that I use to choose books, and then the books. I'm just finishing up an amazing week in reading. Last week's prompt, or the week that I'm actually currently in, prompt was two-word titles. I mixed things up a little bit from the TBR that I had originally planned, and ended up with a great week in reading, several great books, couple of DNFs or just decide to unhauls, which I'll talk about in the next video I make. I guess I'll just add this, since I'm talking about TBR, sorry, allergy season, right? I decided to kind of pin on to the end once I'm in the final book of the two-word titles, and I've decided to just kind of pin on a flicker in the dark. This is a very popular book on Libby, so I can't get a digital or audio version for a long time, but we're coming up to the weekend with some sunshine, so I believe I can read this book in a reading room or maybe even in a park this weekend. And I believe it's just your standard thriller. It's a popular thriller, so anticipation that it's going to be a page turner. And I might not review this book since I'm just throwing it on in the end, but I'm getting it as it's popular. I'm getting it off my shelf. It's been sitting there for a while. I hauled it in the 10 books for 50 cents book haul, so I'm excited to read it, get it off my shelf, and get it into free little libraries where someone else might be really excited to find it, since the wait for this on my Libby with 2 different libraries I have access to is like 6 to 8 weeks. So anyway, that was an aside about this coming week's TBR. I decided to make the prompt books about books, especially books with the word book or theory, because I threw one in the title. So this is what my 5-book selection looks like. This most likely is the order I'm going to read it in. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about what I know about the book, what's exciting me about reading it, and maybe where I got it or where I plan to put it afterwards. It really depends on the book. So the first book I'm going to read, because it recently came off hold and several people are waiting for it on my digital version of the Libby shelf, and I wanted to be able to engage with this beautiful, amazing, pristine condition hardback, but then switch to digital, dark screen in the evening, or if my eyes are tired. So this is Welcome to the Hyeonam-dong Bookshop, and this is written by Hwangbo Rim, and it's translated by Shauna Tan. And I found this in a little free library that lately has really been surprising me. It's had really great books, and in fact, I don't even believe I traded on that day, because I just decided to peek into it. It's normally not got much, and sometimes it's experiences some weather damage, just how it's positioned. It's been a really rainy season, so I found this book and it was in pristine condition. I was like, let me save it and then I'll bring more books back later. Consequently, I've been back a few times and it's been really full. So in my mind, I still owe that book box a couple of books when it's not super rainy and or super full. It's not far from my house. So about this book, this is, I believe it to be cozy, and everything about it says cozy and heartwarming. I believe this is going to be a book about books and people who love books and the lessons they learn from books. And after last week's reading, honestly, I'm starting with a nice, cozy, heartwarming book. It makes me really happy. It's a good way to start my next week in reading. I believe what I'm going to read next is this, and it's a somewhat recent haul from a little free library, a neighborhood that I don't normally go to, but decided to explore one day, and was Joyfully. pleased with the amount. Like every single little free library there had something that I absolutely wanted to read. This is one of them, Miss Morgan's Book Brigade. This is a historical fiction. I believe it's about an American woman who is named Miss Morgan and delivers books. I think it's a poignant read for this time, as at least in the United States where I live, they're starting to experience some book banning realities. I mean, it's always been there, but it's amping up. And this book seems to span from 1918 to 1987, and which tells me there's going to be some more war setting in this book. When I finish this, and I believe, honestly, this is going to be a heartwarming at the end. This is a book of triumph. It's what I feel, and I'm going to, be excited to read it for those reasons, and or just to read the story of books, as I'm a book enthusiast, like probably anyone watching this video. I will put, if it's not too full, my plan is to put this book in the little free library where I got this book, because whomever left this book, I'm making an assumption now, lives near that little free library and likes books about books. So that's my thought. I'm going to go ahead and hope for that. So this book even has a plan. I was able to find this book on both digital and audio, but this book has everything about it. The font is nice and dark. The colors of the page is off-white, and I believe I could just honestly stay in this whole physical copy without causing any sort of eye strain or headache. So we'll see how I end up interacting with that book. The next one is a little bit off the topic, but it's a book that has been sitting around. I got this at the 50% off on Sundays. Book hauls that I do about once a month. I picked up this book because the cover was compelling, but also inside there was a little free library stamp that I see. It says always a gift, never for sale, little free library. And I see it from one particular little free library a lot. That is my favorite one. So I felt compelled to take this book out of thrifting and get it back into little free libraries. And that is The Working Theory of Love. I know that the setting is San Francisco. And I know that this, at the time of its writing, was maybe a romance, contemporary fiction romance. Yeah. And there's some, deep themes in the synopsis. It's talking about a father's death by suicide. It's using the word commit, so that's kind of dates this book a little bit, right? But I'm excited for the setting of San Francisco. I have only read a couple books in that setting recently, and I'm just finding the publication date here. Yeah, 2012. So this is a little bit older. It's more than 10 years old book. Total different vibe than this one. So I'm kind of excited to hop from historical fiction to contemporary fiction romance. The next book is definitely historical mystery or literary mystery as well. This is a book I was so excited to find. I'm very happy that I was able to find it on Libby and digital, because as with a lot of the paperbacks, the fonts are just small and not that dark. So I'm getting of the age where I need reading glasses more and more, and I'm trying not to use them. I'm trying to just, again, read what I can and start to feel eye strain, and then really happy to move into digital where I can change the background or the font size. In any case, this is Orhan Pamuk's The Black Book. This is a Turkish author. This, I believe, has an historical setting, and in Turkey, as is this author's nationality. It is also a book that was published, I believe, in the 90s. So we're going back to some publication. Oh, no, 2006. It's the year my child was born, 2006. And then finishing up the week is what I believe to be another lighthearted, heartwarming, maybe, introspection of identity and how to write your own story. I think that's the synopsis of this book. The protagonist in this book, which is called Must Love Books by Shauna Robinson, is that there's a woman who works for a printing company, and she wants to be able to write her own story. So she thinks a lot about what that would mean, and she goes ahead and does it. Taylor Jenkins Reid says about it on the front, "This is a heartfelt and exciting debut." And I thought that this, of which I have the audio version as well, would be a great way to just kind of round off that reading prompt with something that is introspective, a debut, but also kind of fun and not so challenging in as much as addressing themes of humanity that need to be addressed, but that are sometimes emotionally taxing. So that's it. This is my next week's TBR. I can anticipate that because I'm kind of feeling like getting some of my either my popular books or my ones that have been hanging around, spring cleaning time, I guess, and or my mystery thriller sort of books just off my shelf, and I'll probably add one or two as wild cards depending on how I feel or what my pace was with this week of reading. And I guess I'll talk about that in the review video. So see you for my last week's review video soon.